welcome to another episode of Beyond the Headlines. I'm here today to talk to you about how, and how much, governments pay state legislators. So, you may already know that members of Congress are paid as full-time legislators, but what about state legislators? Are they paid at all? And if so, how much? As is the case with many government policies in the U.S., the answer depends on the state. Some states have full-time state senators and representatives, while others don't. Their level of compensation, in other words, their salary, often depends on how much time they're expected to spend on their legislative duties. As you can see from this map, based on data from the National Conference of State Legislatures, there are three main types of state legislatures: full-time, hybrid, and part-time. The light green states have full-time legislatures. A full-time legislator is defined as someone who spends at least 84% of a full-time job on their legislative duties. These tasks include things like committee hearings, listening sessions, working with their constituents, and campaign activities. A full-time legislator generally doesn't have time for work outside of their legislative roles. The darker green states have hybrid legislatures. These consist of legislators who spend about 2/3 of their time on their government roles, though the legislators themselves often estimate that they spend a little bit more than that. Finally, the blue states have part-time legislatures. Like the name suggests, part-time legislators only spend about half the time of a traditional work week on their legislative roles. For that reason, part-time legislatures are also called citizen legislatures, and their members normally have outside jobs in addition to their government work. As you might imagine, the pay scale for state legislators tends to correspond to the type of legislature in which they're working. The average annual base salary for full-time legislators, for example, is $82,358. That number drops to $41,110 for hybrid legislators and $18,449 for part-time legislators. The 5 states that pay their legislators the most, California, New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Massachusetts, are all full-time. States not only decide how much their legislators get paid, they also decide the process of how to set their salaries in the first place. 19 states use a commission specifically tasked with setting their salaries, while other states tie their salaries to those of other state government employees. Some states allow the legislatures themselves to set their own salaries. Now that you know more about state representatives and how they're paid, you can head to our website to find out more about legislative salaries in your state. Thanks for spending a few moments with Ballotpedia, and we'll see you next time.